one way or another. The war ends today. The Iconians are massing for a final push towards the key worlds of the Alliance. We are gathering any remaining forces to mount a defense. And perhaps, if we are fortunate, we will be able to turn back time.
You are cleared for docking.
The High Command is still intact, and Kronos remains unconquered. Even so, this war cannot be won if we lose Earth. The Bortesque will fight until she can fight no more, as will I. If this is to be our end, then I will meet it with blade in hand and blood in my teeth. I can ask for no greater honor than to fight beside an ally who has shown this courage time and again.
Glad you're here. We've been fighting non-stop and it feels like we're barely making a dent. Command says we're preparing for our last chance. I hope they have an ace up their sleeve, because I can't see a way to defeat the Iconians in a straight military battle. Whatever happens, just remember that you'll always have the Enterprise at your side.
All these years of pain and strife, and it comes to this? I cannot believe that this is how we will end. Our suffering, our struggles cannot be rendered so meaningless. You know what we have been through. This bitter taste, this grief that washes over me, cannot be the last thing that I feel. We will rise again from this. We must.
We have defeated one Iconian, but the cost to do so was too high. The Iconian forces are too numerous for us to sustain such a strategy. We have been forced to our last resort. The Krinim time ship has been modified, and we can use it to generate a portal to send us back to the ancient time of Iconia. Once there, we must prevent any Iconians from escaping the destruction of their home world. If necessary, we must kill the remaining Iconians ourselves.
We presumably failed at temporal incursion, changing things in the past while remaining in a bubble of temporally shielded current time. This allows the timeline to unfold as it will, almost randomly. My team and I have been working on an alternative method that will actually send someone back in time to the past, where they can directly affect the timeline and help to guide it along the desired path. We've been running some basic scenarios that leave us quite hopeful that we can aid in the original attacks on ancient Iconia to ensure there are no survivors for us to deal with in the present.
We cannot sustain this war. The Iconians will destroy or conquer every species in the galaxy. If if we do not stop them now. There is no guarantee that this plan will work, but if we do not try, we will certainly lose everything. Our long-range sensors have detected signs of transit from the Iconian spheres. The Iconians must be preparing their heralds for another large-scale invasion. We are gathering our remaining forces to make our stand. The Iconians have picked our next battlefield, and it is the Sol system. If Earth falls, we have lost this war. We have one move left to us, and it is to move this war to a battlefield of our own design. We will attack the Iconians in the past. We've identified that the Iconians were forced from their homeworld in an attack 200,000 years ago. We will take part in that attack and ensure there are no survivors to fight us in the present. Noy's team is busy reconfiguring the time ship. There are no guarantees, even with time travel on our side. We must hold out long enough for a ship to pass through a temporal portal. That means fighting this fight and every other until this technology is complete.
Captain, this goes against everything we stand for. Everything we've been fighting for.
You talk of honor and duty and freedom. All of these will just be words if we fail. We can try to live up to these ideals when we survive.
I don't agree with this course of action. It goes against everything that Starfleet was founded on. That being said, I can't think of any better options. We've been unable to turn the tide of this war. I will defend Earth until my final breath. I just want to make sure that if we win, we do so without becoming everything we're fighting against.
All this talk about staying true to some grand principles is meaningless. Let's first win this war by whatever means are necessary. I'd be happy to let my descendants worry about asking for forgiveness for my actions.
We have a tremendous fight ahead of us that we need to prepare for. Do not distract yourself with philosophical debate. If you are doing right by yourself and your crew, those are the only measures necessary for determining honor. I will see you in battle.
You are cleared for departure. Good luck.
I've gotten word from Noy. They've completed their modifications, and the Krenim time ship is on its way. We must hold off the heralds long enough for the Krenim ship to arrive and generate a portal. Once the portal is open, we will go back in time to ancient Iconia and try to change history. But first, we must survive long enough to do so.
Enterprise here. We've intercepted a group of heralds. Can you give us a hand with them?
This is the U.S.S. Hood. Our attack group is taking heavy losses.
RRW, the veterans, responding to your call for assistance, Wood.
shipyards are losing integrity. We need someone on damage control, or we may lose them before the ships in dock can mobilize.
Akagi here. We've restored main power. Thanks for keeping the gantries intact. Bringing the Fighting 99th Attack Wing into battle.
This is ESD control. We're losing life support and transporters are offline.
Lost main power. Evacuating the room.
All non-essential personnel are away.
I told you I'd be back, and this time, I brought friends.
We've brought together forces from every quadrant of the galaxy. The Iconians have done the impossible. They've united us.
I hope you're happy to see me. It doesn't look like things have been going too well so far. I left because I needed to find allies for this war, ones who you couldn't or wouldn't talk to. The Dominion understands the Iconian threat, and they are quite eager to protect their stake in this galaxy.
The Herald ships are regrouping. We should use this respite to our advantage. Form up at the K.I.S. Anorak's. We must protect it long enough for it to activate a time portal. Once the portal is stabilized, we can use it to go back to Iconia's past and hopefully undo this war before it starts. Our situation is desperate. If we fail here, Earth will fall, and Kronos won't have much hope of standing without it.
I am arriving with the time ship. We must protect it until the portal is safe. The Iconians off of us. Temporal coordinates have been identified. Creating a bridge across space-time. Just a little bit longer. Stabilizing the temporal portal so a ship can travel through it. That's it. The portal is active and stable. Enter it now. Energizing temporal emitters. The time portal is open and stable.
Go! Get through that portal!
Setting a course now.
The Heralds are firing on the portal!
The portal is destabilizing. Hurry!
More gateways! An Iconian flagship is moving in!
This is the moment of your extinction.
Not today. Everyone, form up and cover our six.
Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600.
ships made it through.
There are no signs of Captain Cogran or his ship. We will have to continue the mission without him. Perfect. This will give us a moment to get our bearings and figure out how best to prevent the Iconians from escaping their doom. There are only 12 Iconians that we've encountered, so trying to deal with just those 12 will be a much easier task than trying to take on this whole world.
Greetings of the whole to you, strangers, and welcome to Iconia. My name is Matararen, and I am a herald of Matara. Before I can allow you to pass, I must scan you to ensure that your technology is of a sufficient level for you to be allowed access to our city. This will only take a moment. Your technology is sufficient, but your chronoton particles are substantially out of phase. Please follow me. You must speak to my mistress.
Remember why we are here. Every Iconian must die in the bombardment, and their technology cannot be taken. If even one Iconian escapes, this could all be for nothing. I recommend we begin by infiltrating their government building. We need access to their data and the gateway controls. You've seen the ruins of a once mighty empire. This is Iconia at the height of its power.
I apologize for the interruption, Honored One. These travelers have just arrived at our city. Their chronoton particles are out of phase, and per your instructions, I have brought them to you.
Thank you, Mataran. You may return to your station. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Iconia. It is highly unusual to receive visitors with such unusual chronoton signatures, and yet we have had 2 in less than a cycle. Do you know a being named Cogran? Wonderful. He will be quite pleased to reunite with you. You should be able to find him in the residential district. I imagine you passed through the same chronoton-charged nebula he did. That would account for the anomalous readings. Since you are explorers like Cogran, I suggest you speak to Lemiran. She is the keeper of our world heart, a repository of all knowledge and a genetic record of the worlds we have visited. The astrometrics data in the world heart could prove quite useful to you. Do you have any questions? Our world teems with life, but we were the first to become self-aware. Time is no enemy to us. An Iconian can live thousands of years, but our numbers have always been few, and as the years passed, we understood that would not change. Needing servants and companions, we found a local population that could be molded and shaped to suit our purposes. At first, we used them as beasts of burden or for tasks that were too difficult or dangerous to do ourselves. I imagine your own species has similar creatures. Over the years, machines and technology began to replace many of those functions. And as technology advanced, what we needed from the heralds changed as well. Ultimately, we needed beings who could think for themselves. Our genetic reshapers transformed the heralds from beasts to companions. Now we have achieved a kind of symbiosis. The heralds perform the routine tasks that keep our society moving. We provide leadership, technological advancement, and defense. We are patrons, parents, and perhaps even gods to the heralds. In turn, they are our hands, our eyes, and our pets. Each herald is created to fulfill a specific function for his master. For example, it is my duty to interact with visitors to our world, but I cannot always be there to greet them. Mataran stands in my stead, examining those who seek our gifts and bringing any special guests, like yourself, to me. We begin with a particular genetic line. Sometimes we will use archived genetic material from the world heart, but most often we simply take what we need from heralds who already perform a similar service. We then resequence the genetic material in utero, removing any defects and enhancing natural abilities the herald will need. We also modify their behavior to ensure loyalty and remove unwanted aggression. Once they are born, we begin an intensive training process. Heralds mature very quickly, so by the time their training is complete, they are fully grown and ready to serve.
Greetings, travelers. Are you explorers, or do you come seeking our wisdom and guidance? Either way, I apologize. I am rather occupied at the moment. Please return later. I should have time to speak to you then.
The changes we see in the Iconians are too great to be simple evolution. The Iconians shape themselves and the heralds into weapons. Genetic engineering that is both efficient and terrible.
You made it. Something must have gone wrong as we entered the portal that disrupted synchronization. I arrived 2 weeks ago. I remained cloaked, scanned the planet for several days, and then came to the surface as an explorer, seeking to open diplomatic relations with the Iconians. My ship is using the magnetic fields above the poles to help conceal its presence. The Iconians of this time are nothing like the ones we know. They are flesh and appear to be friendly and peaceful, if a bit arrogant with those they see as lesser. Come. They will allow us to move through the city freely. You should see this for yourself.
Cogran is either a fool, or he's being manipulated by the Iconians. Either way, he might jeopardize the mission. We'll need to watch him closely.
Someone's calling for help.
An injured herald. This could be a chance to learn about their physiology. Perhaps even find a weakness.
Hello. Can you help us? My herald is injured, and I cannot leave him. I need someone to bring us some healing supplies. Thank you. There should be a healer nearby.
Do you require assistance, visitor?
Certainly. However, I do not detect any injuries or maladies in your physical form. What do you require? Oh, of course. It is our duty and privilege to care for our heralds. I will follow you to the patient.
We'll see who the lesser race is.
I have spent days among these people. They are very proud and very strong.
Thank you, traveler. I appreciate your assistance.
How do you feel about your creator? The Iconians are parent, teacher, master, friend. They are our rulers and our gods, and I am grateful for their guidance. They give purpose and structure to our lives. We would not exist without them.
Exceedingly well. We do what manual labor needs to be done, as well as other tasks. And in return, the Iconians give me all I could need or want. I know it might sound like enforced servitude to you, but I don't see it that way. The Iconians are our beginning and our end. I am nothing without my mistress, and serving her
is my greatest joy.
The Iconians' affection for their pets is a weakness. We can exploit that.
I am not so sure. After all, we've seen how the Iconians will transform their pets. The Heralds are merciless killing machines. They have killed multitudes during this war.
Deaths that we will avenge here. No more waiting. We need to finish our mission. I don't understand why you're bothering to help these people. We need to find the gateway controls, sabotage them, and be done with it. This could all be over if you'd let it.
Clearly the Iconians have a highly developed sense of the aesthetic.
That's fine, but what we need is to know more about their technology. And we're going...
When you have technology as advanced as the Iconians, wonders can be found anywhere you look. We should talk to that officer over there.
I see you are interested in this device. We are testing a new method of encryption. So far, it has proven to be most effective. To access the console, you must solve a series of problems that we believe only an Iconian could answer. Unfortunately, I fear the console is stuck in a testing phase, which is why I am protecting it. It may be a waste of time. You appear intelligent enough, but I doubt you or any of our other visitors could solve even the easiest of problems in the algorithm. I am not supposed to leave this area unwatched, but all of my heralds are performing other duties, and if Elmiran sent you, very well. Thank you, traveler. I will not be long.
It is just as I surmised. The Iconians are following their own version of the Prime Directive. They are attempting to protect lesser developed species from acquiring technology that they may not use wisely or well.
Not so fast. We've only heard one side of the story. I'd like to know what some of the other visitors here think about the oh-so-noble Iconians.
We will gladly give you the medicines you require, but our genetic engineering technology is off limits.
The medicine will help with this plague, but what about the next one? We need the ability to take care of ourselves, but you won't give us the means to do so.
I am sorry, but we have extremely stringent rules about who can use our technology. There are many species who are not yet ready to use our gifts safely and wisely. One moment, Volkar. Yes? May I help you? Yes, I will take your opinion under advisement, but ultimately, this is an Iconian matter. You are simply another visitor on our world.
We haven't made much headway trying to reverse engineer the gateways, but just imagine what we could do with it.
Oh, I have. You could move an army in the blink of an eye. Think about what would happen if all these heralds just showed up on your planet. Oh, they'd take over in a day. I'm still trying to acquire some of their data. Have you had any luck yet?
Nothing yet. Despite all their openness and hospitality, the Iconians have everything on lockdown. I can't even get near the building where they keep the world hard without some herald stopping me. If I were the Iconians, I too would think twice about giving people like these advanced technology.
This doesn't prove anything. So the Iconians had their reasons for withholding technology. I don't care, and neither do their enemies. We know the bombardment is imminent. This world will be obliterated, no matter how much you sympathize with the Iconians. And don't forget what we're here to do. There can be no survivors.
Tell your ships to drop into orbit above the polar region. My ship is cloaked there.
Excuse me, but I require assistance. We have lost contact with several of our colony worlds. I am attempting to increase the range of this communications console to re-establish the connection. But I need another set of hands to adjust the frequency while I attempt to dial in the proper network levels. All of my heralds are currently working on the evacuation. Would you be willing to help me? Curious. Our communications should be reaching the colonies, but I am not receiving any response to my messages. Something terrible must have happened. We were not concerned about the lesser races. Not at first. They were like children who wanted things they could not understand. It was our duty to protect them, to guide them. In time, when they were ready, we would have shared all of our gifts. I do not know. If the colony worlds have fallen, then I am sorry. Please excuse me. I must speak to our leaders.
We already know the evacuation did not save them.
But the gateway on New Romulus remained active for a time.
Then we must cut off that path, now, before anyone escapes.
Welcome, traveler. I apologize for my earlier absence. Do you have questions about our world? We have had contact with many worlds in our journeys, but we have found no people equal to our own. Some of the others resent the blessings our people enjoy. They seek to take that which we will not give. Our policy is not to share our technology with species who are not sufficiently advanced to use our gifts wisely. When a society encounters advanced technology, before they are ready, they often don't have the cultural or social development to handle it appropriately. This leads to war, genocide, and many other ills. We would protect the younger species from those tragedies. Our people believe also that each species has a unique destiny. To disrupt their path toward that destiny is wrong. All of the others must develop in their own time. While we are an extremely advanced world, we are not, in general, a militant one. Tiket will coordinate the defense, but I remain hopeful that we can reach a peaceful solution before blood is shed. Matara speaks for us, and she is quite a gifted diplomat. If all else fails, there are places known only to us and those who serve us. Our gateways can take us to these refuges to recover and rebuild. Will The attack is beginning. I thought we'd have more time. We must retrieve the World Heart and escape. Will you help us?
The attack is beginning. We must decide how to proceed. I have spoken to these people, walked their streets, shared their meals. Regardless of what we know they will do in the future, the Iconians of this time are not evil. They are peaceful. And they are guilty of no crimes, worse than standing up for their ideals. The very same ideals, I might point out, as the Federation's prime directive. You have walked the same streets as I, spoken to the same people. Can you allow them to die for crimes they have not yet committed? For my part, I find no honor in cold-blooded murder.
It doesn't matter what these people are now. We know what they will become, what they will do. The Iconians will destroy my homeworld. They will bomb the archive in the Lena system and exterminate the preservers. They will incite the Undine to destroy Keswick 4. They will attack our homeworlds, kill those we love, and threaten our very existence. And that changes nothing. We know what will happen. In our time, they are poised to destroy or enslave the galaxy. There is no choice. We destroy them now and save ourselves. You think I don't understand paradoxes? My mother came from an alternate timeline. I was born from a paradox. The universe will right itself. It always does. Besides, will the future we create here be any worse than the present waiting for us?
The World Heart contains all of our knowledge and all our genetic data. With it, we can rebuild. We have a refuge built for those who serve us. We shall go there.
We should be able to access the gateway network from here. We could disable all of the gateways at...
We offered Lemirin our aid. There is no honor in striking down an ally from behind.
The honorable thing would be to complete our mission and save our galaxy. Or do you not care about what happens to Kronos?
We need to transfer the World Heart to a transportable format. I'll need your help to initiate the download from that console. The download is proceeding, but it will not complete before the invaders find us. We need to release the magnetic interlocks holding the core. I need you at the other console. More invaders. They must not take the world heart. We need to erase the mainframe memory banks. I will require your assistance. More aliens are coming. Protect me. Mainframe memory erased. The last step is to eject the world heart. That was just the beginning of the violence. My people are few, and most of our heralds are elsewhere. Defeating a significant force would be costly to both sides. I know you are not one of the whole, and I have no right to ask for your assistance. But would you help us evacuate the city? Blessings of the whole upon you. We must gather as many of our people as possible and escort them to the gateway platform. Once we are there, I will open the path to our refuge. Many of our people already left for Colony Worlds, but we have lost contact with them. I fear the worst. I recommend we locate Tiket. She is our protector, and there are none who know the ways of our enemy as well as she. Tiket is a fearsome warrior and has kept our people safe for countless millennia.
Rescuing Iconians is not what we're here to do.
Perhaps it is. When we came back in time, we did not know what we would find.
I appreciate your efforts, stranger, but I cannot come with you. I will defend Iconia until my final breath. Your words have merit. If we go to the refuge, we can rebuild. There, we can plan our vengeance. No one will ever threaten us again.
She is a fool. She would let her people die so she could avenge them.
Vengeance is a powerful weapon.
We will never forget this tragic day.
Thank you. You have shown exceptional kindness and valor in this trying time. I will miss my home. Iconia is precious to us, but as long as the whole survives, we can use the world heart to rebuild.
These are not a warlike people.
Not yet. That will change.
Bloodshed affects everyone differently. My people became warriors when an alien species threatened our home.
And the Iconians will become conquerors. Now I see your plan. We've won their confidence, gathered them together. Strike now, and we can eliminate them all.
Gateway is damaged. You will need to reroute the power and reinitialize the gateway open sequence.
Didn't the others save the Iconians? Where are they?
They may already be here. We're losing ground!
We can't hold them off or...
That's it. Send them through.
No! This isn't our mission! You took everything from me!
The World Heart!
There's no time. The gateway is closing.
Only 12 of us are left. That crystal contains our civilization.
Sela, stop! We are better than this!
I will remember this, Romulan. I will extinguish your people in payment for your treachery.
This has all played out this way before. I am the cause for Hobus. I know what you are going to say, but I did what I had to do for my people. I should have acted sooner. If I had, perhaps Romulus would have been restored. That can't... Taket! What have I done?
The Iconians have fled to Dewa 3, and the Gateway's console has been destroyed, so no one can follow them. Our fate may not have changed from our actions here, But we have done what honor demanded. We are not murderers. Whatever our future may hold, we will face it with our eyes open and our heads held high. We must return to our own time and see what effect our actions had.
We're initiating a tachyon burst to reopen the portal that brought us here. That should bring us back to the exact moment we left the present time.
The heralds are firing on the portal!
The portal is destabilizing! Hurry!
Captain Cogran to Alliance Fleet. Stand down. I repeat, stand down. You have the world heart and the means to end this. Signal the Iconians, show them we have it, and that we are the ones who save them. This is our last chance to end this war.
Do you wish to surrender? A wise decision. How did you acquire that? That is not possible. But yet, I see the world heart in your hands. It is time to end this. Your leaders, our unity. Now. What you say is true, then that core contains all of the lost knowledge of our people. So much that we thought was lost forever. Will you return all that remains of our civilization to us? I have never had a chance to examine you closely, but now that you stand before me, I remember. You helped us, although it gained you nothing. You are the other. Hate blinded us. Fear of the unknown crippled us. Pain called out for blood in ever greater measures. The events of that day set us on this path. It grieves me to see where it has led. After we escaped to Daywalk 3, protecting ourselves became our sole purpose. We transformed ourselves, our whole, even our heralds, to prevent another tragedy. And we vowed never to trust again. I did, and it saved us. But we believed the other lost to us. And you were lost to time. And we preserved the whole by any means necessary. Indeed, we protected the whole against the lesser species who would destroy us if given a chance. Who would steal what we would not give freely. And we did not mourn the deaths of those who were not a part of our unity. And then are. I am humbled in the face of such integrity. I shall be forever grateful to you for showing us the error of our ways.
No, I will not accept this. Whatever these creatures did in the past is meaningless. They killed our sister. They broke our unity. And for that, I will destroy them. I will never forget what you have done, or what that creator known as Zeta did. There will never be enough blood to wash away my need for vengeance. A single world. I can destroy 1,000,000 worlds, and it would not be enough. Your existence is an insult to the memory of our people. I will continue my fight, even if I must fight alone.
She will not listen. Tiket has always been very stubborn. In a few thousand years, perhaps, her attitudes will change. Until then, be wary. Tiket is a formidable opponent, and I will not take up arms against her, even in defense of the other. But with those of us who remain, you shall have peace. We ask only for our homeworld. Leave Iconia and our servants undisturbed, and we will trouble you no longer. I understand, but our terms are not negotiable. We need time to breathe and contemplate. Perhaps in a millennia or two, it will be different.
Your compassion has accomplished more in one act than we could have with all the phasers in the fleet. Honor and selflessness have been almost forgotten over the past few years. That needs to change. It's time to act like Starfleet officers again. We have a lot to do to heal the wounds the war has left on us all. But we've survived the Borg and the Dominion. We can survive this.
There's a lot of work to be done now. We need to rebuild, recover, try to learn how to live in this new reality. But with people like you on our side, I know we can do it.
I thought this was it. The last day. And I was ready, but I'm glad my daughter didn't have to die in defense of the Federation. That I get to go home after this. We all do. Thank you.
We have much to do, but first, we will celebrate. Let the blood wine flow now that the bloodletting has ceased. There is more to being a warrior than vengeance and death. True honor comes from doing what is right, despite the personal cost. The Iconians will depart, and we will rebuild. Mercy has triumphed where weapons could not. Now I will try to find a way to share this wisdom with my people. Many warriors have fallen in this war. Those of us who remain must walk the path of honor.
I don't know what to say. I thought I was protecting our future. But instead, all this... It happened because of a mistake I made hundreds of thousands of years ago. I've made a lot of difficult choices in my life. And I I didn't always consider the consequences of my actions. Today has made me wonder if there's another way. If I can be better than I am.
The war is over. Although we could not turn back the clock and restore the lives that were lost and the planets that were ravaged, we have ended the conflict honorably. You made the right choice. And that is not always an easy one to make. I would be honored to fight by your side again. Before that day comes, however, we must rebuild. There is already talk of new exploration missions. Perhaps we will find our next challenge among the unexplored stars.